Over the last several decades, it seems that American culture has made it a default solution to sue someone when something bad happens, regardless of where the actual liability falls. For instance, if someone breaks into your house, you might get sued if they slip and fall, even though they broke the law to get in there. It's kind of ridiculous. It seems that politicians are now aiming to turn the gun industry into a similar circus with another bill that's been reintroduced. We're going to break it down after this. The CMMG Banshee is one of the coolest AR-style pistols in the game. With its innovative features like the radial delayed blowback system and ripstock and brace, it's pushing the PCC and AR pistol market forward. They're available in 12 different calibers like 9mm, 300 blackout, and even 5.7. And you can get 10 different Cerakote colors, which means your gun is bound to be unique, like our Banshee 300 pistol chambered in 10mm with its bazooka green Cerakote. Thing looks awesome. No matter which way you want to go, the CMMG Banshee has you covered. To learn more, head over to CMMG's YouTube channel and tell them TGC sent you. Welcome back to The Gun Collective. My name is Jon Patton, and you are watching The Fight for Gun Rights. If you like the ability to buy guns, go ahead and get subscribed because we are trying to cover as much legislative nonsense as we can. Now, the bill we're talking about today is called the Equal Access to Justice for Victims of Gun Violence Act. And its core goal is to repeal the PLCAA. We did a video on that a long while back, so click the link wherever that might be in the description or whatever to check that out and learn about it. This new bill is being pushed by Adam Schiff and Richard Blumenthal, along with over 50 other reprehensible politicians. They claim that the 2005 PLCAA, or Protection of Lawful Commerce in Arms Act, is keeping victims of what they call gun violence from obtaining relief in court. In the outline for this bill, they state numerous cases across the United States have been dismissed on the basis of PLCAA, even when the gun makers and sellers acted in a fashion that would qualify as negligent if it involved any other product. And many additional cases likely have not been brought because of the chilling effect of PLCAA's blanket immunity. PLCAA immunizes the gun industry from their fundamental duty to act with reasonable care towards public safety, empowering the worst actors to act with impunity. And therefore, as outlined in this bill, they want to repeal the protections from the PLCAA and allow civil cases to proceed against gun companies. That stance basically assumes that the gun industry is responsible for any mass shooting that may occur, which logically it doesn't make sense, right? That's like saying car manufacturers are responsible for drunk drivers, or fork manufacturers are responsible for people getting fat. It's absurd to imagine that the manufacturer of a given product must assume responsibility for the actions taken with said product. And that is largely why the PLCAA exists. In shorter terms, it protects gun manufacturers from being held liable in court for the wrongful use of their products. What I find most interesting about this entire thing is the core beliefs behind it. Extremist anti-gun politicians, typically with the Democrat Party association, seem to all hold the belief that the mere existence of a firearm is somehow also the existence of violence within said firearm. The belief seems to be that the firearm itself is inherently evil and violent. It's kind of fascinating that this happens. It's interesting how the human brain works. If you think about it, it's probably based on some sort of sympathetic trauma reaction. What I mean by that is that a given group of people have had violence perpetrated against them by folks using a firearm. Legally or illegally obtained is kind of irrelevant in this case. Those people have made a connection that the firearm is the core issue that links all of their cases, and therefore the firearm is inherently the problem. That being said, politicians have taken that stolen trauma emotional response and aimed it directly at the firearms industry. They believe that anyone selling or manufacturing such a ghastly item should be held responsible. After all, they believe that guns are evil items, and anyone who makes them must also pay, regardless of the actual liability, because the response is not based on logic, but rather emotion. It could also be, and probably is, a thinly veiled attempt at re-election fodder, because I also struggle to believe that politicians actually have the ability to care about their constituents. Imagine if this passed, though. the gun industry would be flipped upside down by frivolous civil cases overnight. I am curious though, what do you guys think here? Is it at all reasonable to think that a gun company should be held responsible for crimes committed with their firearms? Why do you think this sort of reaction is happening? Why do you think they're having this sort of emotional thing? Where does that come from? Where does it actually come from? What do you think would happen if something like this were to actually pass? Sound off in the comments and let's talk about it. If you enjoyed this video and you actually got something from it, do me a favor and hit the like button. That would be rad. Be sure to hit the secret affiliate link down in the description because that helps support the cause. And of course, don't forget to get subscribed for more gun news every single week. And as always, thank you all for watching. We'll see you soon.